Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and we're going to be looking at a knife that I was sent over for review purposes. A couple weeks ago, I was contacted by Bear and Son Cutlery and asked if I'd be interested in reviewing one of their knives, specifically this type of knife here. And I'll go ahead and show you guys what it is. So this is a 4-inch black butterfly knife, and that is code 113BTR. Now, I did own a butterfly knife when I was a lot younger, but pretty much all I knew how to do was open it and close it, which I think that's where everybody starts out. I didn't really know how to do any tricks or anything like that. And it's been quite a few years since I've actually handled a butterfly knife. So after telling them that, they said, we want to go ahead and send it to you anyway so you can check it out and see what it's all about. So Bear and Son Cutlery is made here in the USA, and they have this really cool slogan on the side right here. It says, "We build them tough, we build them right, we build them here." So that was pretty cool to see. So let's go ahead and open it up and we'll take a look at the knife itself. So you do have some paperwork in here that talks about the warranty and the registration of the product. And then besides that, you have the knife. Now, one thing that intrigued me is that they said this was a 4-inch model. And as I remember correctly, as I've seen in the past, the majority of the butterfly or what they call balisong knives have been probably around 5 inches long. So I wanted to get this in hand and see how a shorter 4-inch model would fit. Obviously, it's a lot easier to conceal, but if you're carrying it. But as far as flipping it and using it, will the shorter handles get in the way? So that's one of the things that I wanted to check out. Now, if you are a savvy knife owner, you can tell by just looking at this is actually a trainer. So the blade itself is a training blade, so it does not have an edge on it. And that's probably the reason why they were so adamant to send it over, specifically since I did say I wasn't really, too versed with flipping these. Now, I can tell you that the black handles here, it's kind of like a matte black, kind of powder coated. Now, I don't know if that actually is only on the trainer, but for the most part, it gives you a lot more grip on the handles themselves. So again, if you are learning how to use these or learning new tricks or stuff like that, then that's going to come in handy because they're not going to be very slippery. The cutouts on the handle also, besides obviously reducing the weight of the knife itself, they actually give you a lot more grip on the handles because you have those areas where your fingers and your thumb and stuff like that can rest in as you're flipping it and doing whatnot. So there it is. Again, this is a 4-inch model, so I'll have it here on my palm. As you guys can see, it is very small. So if you do want to carry it or if you want to learn new tricks and stuff like that, this is going to be a more compact model. So the locking mechanism down here is not spring loaded. It is fairly tight, which is nice, so it's not going to loosen up too much. But I was able right out of the box to go ahead and open it up with my pinky and be able to loosen the 2 handles to be able to flip it open. Now let me give it a try here. I know I'm kind of behind the camera, but all right, so there it is. Obviously, that was a big fail. But here it is, the blade itself. You do have the 3 holes cut out there. Again, it does reduce weight on the blade, but this is not a life blade. It's a trainer. And another thing that I did note is that this is a pretty thick training blade. Now, I'm assuming that the reason it's done so thick is so that even if it is a a thinner blade, if you do miss, a particular move that you're learning or something like that, and it does come down on your hand. Again, it isn't sharp, but with enough force, it might break the skin. But being such a thicker blade, I don't think you're going to run into that issue. Also, the thicker blade stock also gives you a wider point. So if you were to drop this or something like that, let's say on your foot, if you're doing a trick, it's not going to be as pointy as a live blade would be. So it might not do as much damage as if you had a very sharp and pointy blade. I can tell you that it feels really comfortable in the hands, but again, depending on how big hands you have, it might be a little too small, especially if you're doing a lot of tricks and stuff like that, flipping it around. So just keep that in mind. But for me, I really like the compact size of the 4-inch model. On the blade, you have a couple markings. So you have Bear MCG USA there, or MGC, sorry, USA. Nothing on the other side. So there it is. It is very comfortable again in the hands, and you have that locking mechanism there, so you can lock it open. But if you are doing tricks, you can just go ahead and push it up, and it's going to stay in place. I've been flipping it around for about a week now, and for the most part, it's still pretty sturdy. I know these aren't going to be rock solid, especially the majority of the butterfly style knives, because again, the way that it's designed with the pins, as you're flipping it and stuff like that, it will loosen up a little bit. But for the most part, again, I was kind of worried to see if that would hold up, and it's held up nice. And again, this is over a week, just kind of going back and forth and flipping it around and locking in and unlocking it and stuff like that. It's still doing good and going strong. So there it is. That is the 4-inch black butterfly training knife from Bear and Son Cutlery. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.